Hi, welcome to the show. I'm Ron Burke. It is now week 15 in the National Football League. Baldy, Doc, and Tim will be along in just a moment, but first, let's get right to the business at hand. It is ugly in Atlanta. Michael Vick gets sentenced, and immediately Bobby Petrino uses his get-out-of-jail-free card, boating the Falcons for Arkansas, all within 24 hours after he coached what turned out to be his final NFL game Monday night. Clearly, Petrino had few, if any, fans in his own locker room, as we found out when his players were quick to tear him to shreds.
For him to turn his back on us at this point in the year, when things are probably the toughest, it's cowardly. I mean, to duck out the back door at night, you know, and leave us a letter. That's not what a man does.
He sold us a dream. He put this organization last in his life, and like I say, he's selfish. And as players, he's definitely a liar. I mean, when you try to sell us on a dream, and one of the things that we have in our meeting room is finish. I mean, if he wanted to leave, you can at least finish 3 more games.
Well, things are rough in Atlanta. Let me now introduce our 3 wise men to break it down. With me in Philadelphia, Brian Baldinger. In our nation's capital, Doc Walker. And in Dallas, courtesy of Bulldog Football, it is Tim Brown. Let me begin with you, Baldy. Hearing Warrick Dunn, fine, upstanding citizen in the NFL, say what he said, really brought this thing home for me that if Bobby Petrino, in walking out on this team, infuriated anybody, it's bad enough. But Dunn, who I never hear speak like that. It tells me something. It tells me volumes about the head coach in this case.
It's the G-rated version of what Warrick Dunn said. D'Angelo Hall, some other guys had some more vociferous things to say. It's ugly. I mean, he quit. He quit on him right here, Ron, and you just don't do that. That's what this whole league is about. And when the crucible got hot, he opted to get out. It's despicable. It's a despicable act. He'll never, ever be allowed in the National Football League and the fraternity again because he quit. This will follow him everywhere he ever goes.
When the going gets tough, I guess the coach goes to Arkansas is at least Petrino's motto here. Doc, what do you think of what this coach did for a team that has had so many bad episodes this season, from Michael Vick to a 3-10 record to all kinds of turmoil inside?
Well, as a junior, we lost Dick Vermeil at UCLA. We just beaten Ohio State at the time in the Rose Bowl, and you wanted your senior year to be the crescendo of your collegiate experience. And he took a business opportunity, and that's what you learn about college. You have to grow up. It's business. But he did it after the season. To leave in the midst, especially of a bad situation, I was shocked at it. And I know those guys feel betrayed. It's about the dollar, but then there are some principles, and thank goodness there are some people that still feel that way.
Tim, you know what I wonder, and maybe those young players at Arkansas won't think twice about this, but I wonder, how does he now walk into a college program where he is, in effect, in a position to mold young minds and young attitudes and character to a certain degree and convince them to follow him after what he just did?
Well, one thing he can't go in there and say, don't quit. You know, he can't say that for sure, you know. So, man, as a head coach, I don't know how you face athletes again. I can see him leaving to go take a business job, but if you're going to coach other athletes, I don't know how you get beyond this. And, you know, think about this. Yeah, he left the players, but he took a whole bunch of coaches from Louisville down there with him, and he left those guys too. So this is a really bad sign for Petrino, and like someone said earlier, this will haunt him for the rest of his career.
I'm watching the press conference introducing Petrino the other night, less than 24 hours after that final play in the Monday night game, and he gets a hero's welcome from the Arkansas fans, as one would expect, because now they got what they think will be a coach who can carry them somewhere. So really in a cocoon, which is what he's going to live in Arkansas, he's the big cheese.
Well, you know, this volley that he just pulled here has followed him wherever he's been. When he was at Louisville, he tried to get the Auburn job and interviewed behind everybody's backs for the Auburn job, trying if Tommy Tuberville had left. So he does this in Atlanta. This is going to follow him everywhere he goes. And when it gets hot and he's losing SEC games there in Fayetteville, there'll be temptation to leave to go to another program. That's what this guy is. He is a quitter. And it's just unfortunate because this is a miserable season for the Falcons. But being around the Falcons a lot this year, calling their preseason games, these guys did give of themselves to this guy and to the program, and he left him high and dry. The word that Doc used, betrayal, may not be strong enough.
Wow. All right, so Petrino's gone. The Atlanta Falcons maybe still a miss. Emmett Thomas, longtime NFL assistant, takes over the Falcons on an interim basis. All right, now we change gears to, I guess, what would have been the big story had this not happened with the Atlanta Falcons. That involves, of course, Spygate 2. It'll be the rematch between the Patriots and the Jets. The first game of the season they met, it was 38-14. And everything broke loose about the Spygate. And the Patriots, of course, have been mowing people down left and right as this season has gone on. Let's first listen to Belichick and Brady as they head into this rematch that, if not they've been watching, waiting for a long time, it seems everybody else has been.
This is a team that we know well. We played 3 times last year, twice a year. It's a division game. They know us well. We know them well. And, we're just going to try to do what we always do, which is win. Try to have a good week of preparation and go out there and play well on Sunday. That's our job. That's what we get paid to do, and that's what we want to do. So, everything that's in the past is in the past. Everything that's in the future doesn't really matter. Right now, it's a one-game season. We're focused on the New York Jets.
It's something every week. So, I mean, it's something that people say or do, or, you can't control any of it. And I think what we can control is our own attitude and what's important to us. And it's been a great strategy. And, we're trying to use things as motivation. Of course you do. It's a long season.
Well, it could get even longer for the Jets, who go in as a 24-point underdog as we speak. And let me begin with you, Doc, because this Spygate incident cost Belichick $500,000, a first-round pick, and some say an asterisk on what likely will be an undefeated regular season, if not an undefeated season altogether. The Patriots' season high in scoring so far is 56 points. Surely they're going to put half 100 on the Jets, right?
Oh, I think they want to put a half 100 on anybody. That's the beauty about them. I don't think they needed it, but I think it's good to have it, because when you're on a championship run, you look for anything you can to incite a riot. The Steelers, unfortunately, did it a week ago. This week they have Spygate. It's about pride. When I first heard about it, I questioned their validity. I no longer do that. They don't need Spygate, trust me. But it's propelled them into playing some good football.
Tim, let me ask you this question, because they were found guilty in the first game against the Jets. The NFL chose to not make the Patriots forfeit that game, which would have been a loss on their schedule. And as it turns out, here they are making a hard drive for an unbeaten season. Should that have been a forfeiture of that first game, since that's the game that they were caught cheating in?
Yeah, I definitely think so. But one second. Is it me, or does everybody talk like Belichick out there now? It's amazing. you can't tell if it's Belichick or Brady who's talking. But, I certainly agree with you. I do think that, I was the one saying early in the season that Belichick should have been suspended for 4 games. So them forfeiting that game is the least I think the NFL should have done to him. But, here we are now, 14 weeks later, talking about this team possibly still being, well, they are undefeated and possibly going undefeated for the whole season.
Yeah, we go from a team situation where everybody hates the coach to one where everybody sounds like the coach. So we do the 2 extremes here to kick off our show. We say goodbye to Tim and remind you, the viewer, that if you want more analysis and insight from Tim Brown, check him out on BulldogFootball.net. BulldogFootball.net. Tim, thanks again. We'll see you back next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, we take our first break of the show, but when we come back, they were